Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello. It is Thursday night, so it is time once again for the Tank Show. I appreciate you all being here, and of course, I appreciate my buddy, pal, and co-host, Chattanooga Ed. As always, thank you for hanging out tonight. We will be going over to the Crafted Show immediately following this stream. That's going to be a fun time. So we are going to recap Aquashella. I know a lot of you all are probably getting sick of the recaps, but we'll talk just a little bit about it, give our spin on it, and then we'll move on. Of course, we will, as always, be taking questions and comments from the chat live. So if you'll put the @ symbol in front of Fish Room Fever, that will highlight on my screen for me so we can get to those and read those. You make sure we've got a good connection. Normally, I don't do this, but if somebody will give me just an audio video check, I had to take, so I take the whole studio when we go on these trips. So lights, microphone, all the stands, camera, everything goes. So that, yeah, not the chair. I don't take the chair, but that means setting everything back up, and it's a little off from where I normally have it. But all right, it's all good. Perfect. I appreciate that very, very much. And now we won't have to do that until we go to the next show. So we're all set.
Rock on.
Sounds good. Perfect. Ben Backstrom says, good evening, James and Ed. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Really, really am. Hope you were doing well, Ben. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Excuse me. Give it a couple of minutes and let John wrap things up before we dive all the way into things. I've got some of the things that I got at Aquashella to show you all. Hopefully the green screen cooperates tonight. It's been really weird with the mic. So normally you don't see my mic if it's on screen, but it's showing the mic for some reason. So we had to move it over. Thus the audio check. But while we're hanging out, since there is the hardcore crew in here, let's say some hellos while John and Lisa are still running.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, normally we don't get to do that because we're like slam packed full right away. From the participants list, hello and welcome to B. Wood, Ben Backstrom, Win Diaz, Cat Hair Crafts, Dragon Lair, Freaky Fish, Lady Hillbilly Aquatics, Levi's Aquatics, Liquid Zoo, OnlyFins, MC Aquatics, Mary Beth, Paul Stero, Tampa Tom Fishing, TJ Autocross, Vibes Aquatics, and Yellowstone Aquatics. And of course, everybody else that YouTube isn't showing me your name on the list, we appreciate you all very much. Thank you for being here. Fish Tank Dad, been a member for 3 months. Thank you so much for that, Fish Tank Dad. Said, when is Ed's surgery? Hope it goes well. Ed, do you want to fill people in on that?
Well, I've been going to the hospital twice now this week, and I go back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Well, no, I go earlier than 1 o'clock. My appointment's at 1 o'clock. Right now, they've pushed my surgery to the 16th, and they're going to give me a battery of tests beforehand just to make sure that everything will go right. So after tomorrow, I think I have to go back to the hospital 3 more times before the 16th.
That is rough. That's definitely rough. And, you know, we're all keeping you in our thoughts and prayers.
And then I'll probably be gone for 4 weeks to 5 weeks. So don't unsub. I'll be back.
He will be back. Not only that, I can't go too in depth with it, but he will be back, and we have something really, really awesome rolling out to you all. Ed and I spent several hours on the car ride home from Aquashella, brainstorming and bouncing ideas back and forth on a brand new type of show, new type of video for you all. I think you're really, really going to enjoy it, and I'm super pumped about it. I've been working on putting some stuff together for it.
Me too.
So I'm excited. Like, this is the first big thing that I mean, I'm always happy to do videos and stuff, but this is one of those ideas that when Ed brought it up and we started fine tuning it, I fell in love with it. So I'm really pumped for that. So yeah, don't go anywhere. Ed'll be back, and he'll be back with a bang.
And I've talked to 2 of our 4 people that we're talking to that
very cool
want to join us. So
yeah, so it is going to be a collaborative effort. So I think that you all will really enjoy that. Of course, there are a lot of different collaborative things that have gone around, but this is going to take that to a whole new level. So I hope that you stick around and look forward to that as much as we are. Yes, John Oliver's hanging out with us. So super fun hanging out with you, James and Ed. It was super fun hanging out with you, my friend. It really was. John, and I know he's not asked for it, but John did a lot of work. The that he didn't get any credit for in terms of setup and helping the fish tube booth run, the YouTube booth run extremely smoothly at Aquashella. He helped us bag plants with Flip Aquatics that day before. So a huge shout out to John and his lovely lady for all the help that they did at the show.
Cindy did a ton too. Cindy helped me write. Cindy's his better half. She helped me write up the board that had all the times for the shows for the live stream. She was so cool to do that because I got crappy handwriting and she's a girl, so she has good handwriting. And then she also I put in stuff for the raffle, but there was no way I could be there for when they call it because I was going to have to be working. So she did my 2 cards that I did and collected all my winnings.
And that was very, very awesome of her.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Finn Wiggles in here with the $10 super sticker with that hair jumping up and down. #1 fan. Finn, I really, really do appreciate you. All the support that you give to the channel, it means a lot. It's because of all you awesome people that show love and support for the channel that we're able to do a lot of the things that we do, go to events, and then, make some purchases while we're there and get some things. A lot of people were like, hey, here, buy this when we were live streaming. That's not the purpose of it, is to bring you all along to the shows that don't actually get to attend, but it does mean a lot. And we've got some of that stuff to show off tonight. All right, here we go. Oh, looks like John just wrapped things up. I see the viewer spike. A huge thanks, Lisa, John, KG Tropicals, fishkeeping.com. Appreciate you all doing the send over. Sorry I had to miss the last little bit of the show. But super pumped for them as well. It was fun getting to talk to John at the show about his move and the plans that he has for the place and all of that fun stuff. I'm super excited for him and what he's got going on there.
For sure.
So Ed,
he's still far away from us. He's
he
still about 5 hours because of the stupid mountains. There's no quick way to get to him.
Yeah, he's a good ways out there, but he's close enough to make a day trip, or not a day trip, but to get out there in one day's travel without having to catch a hotel room away. So we'll have to make that happen in the future at some point. Dragon Lair says, Fisherman Fever, did you see? Looks like I have a way to attend Aquaticon. That is awesome, Dragon Lair. I did not see that, but I'm super excited. It's going to be big. We just added another major brand, another national brand. It's one that I use in my fish room, and a lot of you all do. I think we're doing the official press release on that Monday, maybe sooner, but I won't spill the beans because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's another big name that has opted in to sponsor the show. So I'm really excited about that. Of course, along with Fritz and Reef Nutrition, 2 other big nationwide sponsors. All righty, rolling on through here. I'm going to grab some of these member chats real quick and a couple of highlighted things I see, and then we'll talk a little bit more. I still haven't gotten in slow down mode from getting back. We left on a Wednesday, and I got back 1 a.m. Tuesday morning, and I just don't feel like I've caught up yet. So we'll just slow it down. Here we go. Pegasus sister Rena, been a member for 15 months. Thank you so much for that. Rena says, late, but I'm here. 1 month to go till the new baby. Congrats on that, Rena. Looking forward to you adding that newest member to the Fish Fam. Congrats. Thanks for being here, Rena. Thank you for the support. Furlough's Aquatics, been a member for 17 months. Says 2 awesome dudes right there. Furlough, another awesome guy that we got to hang out with down at Aquashella. Not for the first time. That was very, very cool. Sorry you had to get out of there in a hurry, Eric. But it's always great seeing you and hanging out with you. And thank you so much for your support and being a member. 17 months, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I see Whip World's here. I have some bad news for the... Oh, wow, you're even wearing a whip. Oh, it's disappearing.
There goes the green screen. Yeah, green screen said, nope, you're not doing that.
The skull here, he's pushing his self onto you. Well, nevertheless, Whip, at Aquashella, for the first time ever, they sold out all their 4X, 3X, 2X, and 1X shirts. All the extra larges were gone. So it's like the first time I didn't get to get a shirt, even though I did get the co-op shirt that was given away free that I'm wearing. But I didn't get the cool one. But it looks like this.
Yeah.
And this was one of the things I won in the raffle. And I'll be giving this away in my stream. In the next stream, we'll do some type of a little giveaway and do that.
Absolutely. So make sure you stick around and come on over to Chattanooga Ed on the Crafted live stream immediately following this. Melissa Jeswald's been a member for 14 months. Says thanks for all the great advice, guys. Melissa, you are more than welcome. Thank you for coming to us and asking our advice, opinion. And I'm glad it has worked out well for you. Crypt Keeper Aquatics, how's it going? Says, was there any species of fish or plant in particular you saw at Aquashella that really stood out? Maybe something you've never seen before. Do you want to take that one first? Do you want me to run with it?
Oh, well, definitely with me. There were two species that I've never seen in my life before that were there. The gulper catfish. Mm-hmm. I've never seen one in person, and there was a tank of about 8 of them. I made a short of them, and I don't think it did so well because it did Pac-Man Fever. Stupid song from the 80s. But nevertheless, they are an awesome fish, but they'll eat pretty much any fish the same size as them. So they kind of like a flower horn where they got to be in a tank by themselves. So that was the one awesome fish. But they also, did you see the giant bumblebee catfish?
I don't know that I did. I probably saw it like while I was streaming, but didn't even realize I had it.
They look like they're this big.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, they look like the little bumblebees that are this big.
Yeah.
They were a good 5 inches.
Okay, yeah, I've got a couple that are right around that size, the bumblebees. I actually got them with you and Bob. Oh, goodness. Quite a while ago, because they were only about that big when I got them at one of the fish store runs that I did with you all, and they have just grown and grown. But those are an awesome fish.
They are.
Well, Ed took the gulper, but that would be the coolest one I've never seen in person before.
Is that yours?
Yeah, because I've not seen those in person before. Most things I've seen, which I have seen sturgeon before in person, but I think that would probably be the next coolest thing that I saw was big cylindrical tank with a bunch of sturgeon in it. That was pretty awesome. I really enjoy getting to see those guys. You don't see them very often, with good reason. Let's not make that a commonly stocked fish in the fish stores, but it's very cool to get to look at those guys up close. Lefty3213A is in the house, been a member for 22 months. Says 22 months. And yeah, there's the gulper. Those guys are really cool. But again, they will devour just about anything. Even if it's bigger than them, they'll still go for it.
And they get about 11 inches, almost a foot.
Yeah.
So you have to put something really aggressive with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lefty, you're rolling on 2 years, man. You're getting there. And I appreciate that. I really, really do, my friend. Thank you so much for all the love and support from you. And you just about gotten to that 2-year membership sticker, which, of course, the Zen Ginger will get to unveil first. I know she's looking forward to that. So a couple of y'all rolling up on 2 years. It's amazing how time flies. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. And I love you guys for hanging in there, sticking with me, hopefully having a good time. And being members, supporting the channel. Love you guys. Appreciate it. There's Whip's World. Yeah, I got the shirt, Whip, as you just saw. Very cool. Thank you so much for sending me that. Huge shout out to Whip's World. Dude, it fits good. I'm digging it. Like I opened it earlier and then I just threw it on right before we started streaming. It's comfy. I like it. So I appreciate you sending that to me.
I got something awesome in the mail when I got home. I had stickers from the Degenerate Fish Keeper.
Very cool.
And he is an awesome guy. If you guys haven't heard of him, go check out the Degenerate Fish Keeper. He isn't as degenerate as his name sounds. He's really a great guy. He has a show early on Sunday mornings, and he also is like the producer of quite a few other shows that we watch. And he's not normally in the main light, but we'd like to get him there because he is just a great guy.
Absolutely. Bunny Viper says, James and Ed, so happy to be here. Thank you in advance for what I know will be an awesome stream. Love you both very much. Bunny Viper, we love you too. Bunny Viper setting those high expectations there for us. So we're just going to wrap the show now because I don't want to ruin it. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you, Bunny Viper. I really do appreciate that.
I'm always up here, you know, and I figure, well, if we get to here, that's good. So she just set us way at the top. Oh, well.
Absolutely. A couple of people, Jerry's Fisherman says, I was mad. I paid VIP and gave a shirt size and they sold them out.
Oh,
That is definitely understandable and very unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I can't speak to what Aqua Shella is doing about that. I will say with Aquaticon, what we've done is set it up so you reserve your shirt size when you buy your VIP ticket, and that way we don't have that happen, and we have specifically the shirt that you request in your size when you get there.
last year in Florida, it was the least populated show, and they bought so many more shirts than they needed. And this time around, it was just the opposite. It was slammed. And I talked to the big guy in charge, Sean, and he said that they're going to have to try to make a few more, but it's already too late. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we're going to pause it right there for a second on the Q&A part, but we will be coming right back to that. Looks like the next one's going to be Mystery Snail Guardians. Wow. Is where we'll pick it up at. Snailed it. A couple of awesome things that I did pick up, and Ed's wearing one of them right there. That really cool co-op shirt that you could get if you came to the show. And I didn't even realize it. Yeah, they made plenty of those. And I didn't even look at the artist signature on that, but I was talking to Sam Scales. Talked to him a couple of times. He's actually going to be coming on the show in the not too distant future to talk about some things. That's going to be fun. Didn't realize he did the art for it when I got the shirt. He's like, awesome. Yeah, I did that. And I'm like, heck yeah, man. So not only got a free co-op shirt, but also got some Sam Scales artwork. So a 2-for-1 right there.
That is awesome.
Let's see. Got a bunch of stickers. Of course, quite a few of them were axolotl stickers, and those were for the missus. Got a couple axolotl plushies, cover the kids. He's an awesome dude. He really, really is.
I look like the big unit. What's the guy, the wrestler? Not the guy that was the giant, and then he became something else.
The Big Show now?
The Big Show, yeah, not the big unit. I look like the big unit in that picture. I'm so huge in there. Oh well.
Let's see if the green screen will allow this right here. There we go. Had to pick up a couple stickers.
Nice.
Of course, there goes one of the live stream lights. That's another thing I've been fighting with is
I have a keychain like that.
Yeah, I got it for you from the same booth actually. All right, we're gonna lose that light. The joys of having to set back up your studio, and of course it's been on like for a while now. Just so I knew it would work. Of course, then it doesn't want to work. Had to get that hatchet fish there. I got a really big piece of wood, which I do not have in here to show you. It's actually in the tank. I've been kind of positioning it around. I saw that axolotl plushie. I'm glad you didn't lose yours.
I did.
I got a couple of those.
I bought two.
Oh, okay.
This one is actually for Rico's daughter.
Gotcha.
Mine disappeared.
That light is going to bother me. Really going to bother me. Got a really, really big piece of driftwood, about 2 foot tall and about, 18, 20 inches across in total span with all of the branches. I'm really looking forward to that scape. I've actually got to get a stand set up for it. But it is in the tank and I didn't want to drag it out, and I wasn't sure how well that would work out with trying to hold it way out here in the green screen blocking it out. But one of the cool things I did find while I was there was some smaller, what I'm calling accent pieces of wood. So they had these little guys in all different shapes and sizes for $3 a piece. So you could get a whole bunch of them. I got, if I could get them out of the bag, just a bag full of accent pieces. All right, buddy. And then I'll be right back, and then I'll fix that.
I have to fill up Nico's water.
Definitely. So we got a bag of those. So, because one of the things I run into sometimes when I'm working on Escape is maybe here come the laughs in the chat. Want a little extra wood in there. So I'll end up breaking off part of a really nice piece of driftwood or spider wood to accent what I'm working on. And so that allows me to not have to do that and have a bunch of little things to play with. Even using a really small nanoscape, not something that I would put, fish in, but maybe do a little 1 gallon shrimp scape with one of those. That would work perfect. let's see here. Didn't bring any. Well, I did bring some plants home from Flip Aquatics. Those will also be going in that scape. I think I brought home 4 different things. So got those in a tank right now, hanging out. They're doing really well. Other than that, no live things. Didn't bring home any fish this time. That was kind of odd. I think this is the first show that we've attended that neither Ed nor myself brought home fish. Now, I'm going to kick it over to you for just a second, buddy, and I'm going to fix this light because that just looks horrible and it's killing me.
Yeah, I had to give Nico some water because I always put water so he doesn't mess with my tea. And it was like this low, and he was like pulling it down, and I was thought he was going to spill it in just a second. But I got some cool stuff at Aquashella. They have a big raffle, and all the vendors like donate stuff to the charity, which is the Mermaids, 10,001 Mermaids. They help rebuild our oceans. And I'll show you. I already showed you the t-shirt that I'll be giving away. It was a really cool t-shirt. Unfortunately, it's a girl's shirt size. So, but we'll be giving away the girl's t-shirt. And then I won a thing. This was in there, and I noticed that there was no tickets in it, so I put 1 ticket in it, and I won it. It's a dripper. It like you can stick it into the back of your computer to program it, and then it will drip fertilizer or salts or whatever you want into your aquariums. So I'll have to ask Sean how to work this thing because I'm sure he knows how to do that.
Yeah. They're primarily used on the saltwater side of the hobby, but I'm curious to see how you set it up because I think it'll be neat seeing what you do with it.
Whoops. You guys, are you still there?
Yes, sir. We are.
Okay. Nico stepped on my mouse and everything went black. Well, gotcha. And then I won one of the scaped tanks that they were scaping, like John and the other YouTubers and professional scapers. And I didn't put any on John's because everybody else was, that's a famous guy's. And then it was really a bummer because John and I were going to the desk or to the glass boxes after the aquarium thing. What's it called? The scape tanks. Mm-hmm. John wanted to get a photo with the guy who won his. And the guy grabbed it and ran. He didn't even stick around. So poor John didn't get to shake his hand or get a photo with him.
Oh, man.
And we both, John and I, what we did is they said, the guy's in a wheelchair, so he can't get too far. So it's like,
yeah, right.
Okay. So I went down one ramp or one direction, major line, and he went down the other, and we just went straight out and met outside. Somehow, that guy had like a jetpack on his wheelchair because he got out of there. But it came with this cool light. I don't know what type of light that is. But then it also, I didn't bring the tank down because it's still upstairs. It's kind of heavy. I still haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with it. But now, when James and I were driving back, I checked if it was going to be rainy weather in Georgia and Tennessee. And it was like, it's going to be all sunny all the way through those 2 states. I didn't check Florida. And it stormed all the way through the state of Florida until we got to Georgia. Yep. So my Awazi fish or filter box got all nasty, but this is their brand new tank or their brand new hang off the back filter. And so I can actually say I have an Awazi. It's not taped, but filter. And I mean, this thing, it has all the bells and whistles. It has a place for your heater to go in the back of the hang off of the back.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's so we'll do a little video of it. There you go. Seriously, we'll do a video of this thing when I'm feeling a little better, or maybe before, and then I'll edit it.
Absolutely.
Put it out while I'm down. But pretty neat. That came with it too, and then all the rocks and plants. So I was pretty stoked about that. And so that was the 3 things I won in the raffle.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, you are always a lucky guy when it comes to those raffles. Alrighty, I'm going to jump back into the chat here, see what we've got going on. I almost missed one from Oinkmaster Supreme Forever, who we got to meet, and she is absolutely,
so cool.
yeah, she is just the sweetest lady I've ever met. I think she's so awesome. Getting to finally meet you, Oinkmaster. She says, "Hello and much love to you both. It was the highlight of Aquashella to meet all of the beautiful fish keepers that have helped me so much throughout these months." You know, it can get emotional here. It was an honor to get to hang out with you and to get to meet you. It's always awesome getting to meet the viewers and other fish tubers, but it really was a treat. And talking to you and kind of hearing what you've gone through and what the YouTube fish community has meant to you. It meant a lot to me. So thank you so much for that, Mike Master.
Yep. And I would love to hear what she thought. And you don't have to say what you thought of everybody, but were you surprised about how people acted, or were we what you thought we would be? It's always interesting, you know.
Ed was taller in person than I thought he was going to be when I first met him. Let's see here.
That's what she said?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. When I first met you, you were taller in person.
That's Everybody says that I'm taller in person. I don't know. They're all crazy.
So Mystery Snail Guardian said, "How were snails represented this year? Last year, they were few and far between. So Flip Aquatics had a couple varieties available.
No assassins.
Yeah, no, it didn't have the assassins. Other than that, I didn't really see a good solid representation of the snails.
There's one other tank. The tank that I thought had devil thorns, but they were just really pointy Hercules in Dallas. They brought another tank, and they brought 3 times as many snails because they sold out so fast. And I think they sold out again because nobody sells snails.
Yeah. So there wasn't really a great representation of snails, kind of keeping with what you've seen in previous shows. But I find where they're doing it up with snails, we'll be sure to get those on camera for you so you can check them out. Select Pet says 2 years. Seems like the Fish Room Fever first stream was just yesterday. Yeah, it's the channel's been up for I guess about 2.5 years. Or is it 3.5 years?
I think it's been 3.5.
I think it's been 3.5. Yeah, so it's been 3.5. Yeah, because we got monetized like 5 months after we started, and then they rolled out memberships like way after that because initially it was like a 35,000 subscriber minimum, and then they changed that. So yeah, it does seem like that first stream was just yesterday though. All those wonderful technical difficulties that we had, and all the awesome people that stuck in there through it till we finally got the streams working.
I think the first 2 streams I didn't have a bandana. And when you watch it, all you can see is the bright light off the top of my head.
Which speaking to that throwback there, I actually did reach out to Ryan with Seagrass Farms because we interviewed them a couple thousand subscribers ago. I mean, it was very early in the channel, and I reached out to him the other day and was like, "Hey, we need to do another talk. I know we kind of got things down and don't have all the technical difficulties. Of course, I say that the stream that the lights decide to mess with me a little bit, but I love the way that we're moving, and its time really does fly."
Carlos saw this at the store and said, "I got to get that for Chattanooga Ed." So thank you so much, Carlos. That is so awesome. I met Carlos at the ALA, and then he was at this Aqua Shella, and he brought me this guy, and so he was my co-pilot through all the streams. Very cool.
He was. I actually had to talk to him before I could speak to Ed. He was kind of playing bodyguard while Ed was working the booth there. Bunny Viper says, "Y'all belong at the top, Ed and James." Well, thank you so much. That's very, very much appreciated, but also very I'm very humbled by comments like that. But I appreciate you and all the other people that are chanting along with you in the chat. Thank you so much for that, Bunny Viper. We love you guys. I think y'all know that. I hope you know it. If you don't know, now you know. Let's see. Bunny Viper once again says, "I have some vinyl stickers coming in 2 weeks. If you'd like one, please email me." And then she's got her email in there. Absolutely, Bunny Viper. I will have to do that.
That'll be awesome.
totally unrelated to fish, but completely related to fish in the same breath. I went through and I ended up clearing well over 6,000 emails out of the Fish Room Fever email account. Thank you, all you awesome trolls out there that have signed me up for so many wonderful things over the past couple of years with that email. I really appreciate it. But I say that because I was able to go through and compile everybody's sticker requests for the last 12 months. And there were a lot of them. So we are working on that. I've got Mrs. Fever. Shout out to her. She's doing envelopes so we can get those sent out. But that is now cleared. So when you email me, I can actually find things a lot easier. And that's why I bring that up.
I got this shirt at the Flower Horn show. Like they always have a flower horn area where they compete. And for anybody that doesn't know what a flower horn is, it's these big guys with the weird faces or weird heads. Every time I see them, the more I like them. I have a hard time having a single fish in a tank. But I wonder if you could probably have a gulper and a flower horn together. I don't know. Just saying. But so I got this guy at that one. So that was kind of neat.
That is very cool. I really do like that. So Ben Backstrom says, I know that autodoser EDGOT could be used for liquid fertilizer in a freshwater setup, but what would you use it for in saltwater? I'm curious. I know nothing about salt. So without me going on a saltwater tangent and running off, half of the 100+ people that are here, which you all are amazing. Thank you so much. 109 people watching and 68 likes. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the love. To sum it all up, in saltwater, typically we're stripping everything out of the water. We're using RODI. We're using 100% pure water with nothing in it. And then we're going back and we're adding a lot of the trace elements that you would typically find in water anyways, but without a lot of the nasty trace elements that you don't want that you would typically find in water. So there are a lot of different elements, different trace elements that people use those to dose small amounts very specifically over certain time frames.
LRB was telling me that you can even dose live things like Daphnia and baby brine shrimp through these.
Yeah, now I've not tried that specifically, but I mean, in theory, that should work. That should work as long as they don't somehow decide to all swim up in there and clog, the mechanism. That should work. Absolutely.
Also, though, for the foods that you feed your corals in the saltwater, I think that's why they do this, just to keep the corals a consistent flow of food, and then you don't have to dose it yourself.
You could, I guess you could do pods or something. A lot of times, a lot of the stuff that's going in, you could. Typically go on like $1,000 machine that's like got 4 different trace elements, but you could definitely do something like that. Rustic Nashville with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. The Assassin Snail, part of the Genesee Fish Mafia there, says, "Oh shoot, I forgot to beg y'all to snag me an Aqua Shella poster." Ed, do you want to tell her what happened there with the Aqua Shella poster?
Yes. Well, this year we didn't really have the Aqua Shella poster with all the autographs. Well, they had the one with all of our autographs from last year because we all signed it, and then they were selling them for $25. That sold out in the first day. Also, everything, they were not expecting what the crowd that they had show up, which is just amazingly awesome. But Bunny Viper, Rustic Nashville, the Assassin Snail. I'll just go with that. It's much easier. Assassin Snail, I got you an autograph of somebody that I think you like because you said a lot of great things about him when he was on the live stream. So we'll see if you like it or not. And you'll have to send me your address to my Facebook, and then I'll mail that to you. I don't know if she wants me to tell her who it is or if she wants to guess.
I don't know, but he did. He got you something, and they were completely sold out of the ones that we had all pre-autographed at the other show. Yep. Again, thank you so much, Rustic Nashville, for the $5 super chat and the support. I really do appreciate you, my friend, the Assassin Snail.
I could send her the one from last year with just no autographs on it. because I picked up about 10 of those. I want to send one to my Uncle Bruce.
Absolutely. M&C Aquatics, if you're still listening, have a great night. I see you saying you were getting out of here. Meds were kicking in. Take care. Hope you're doing all right. We'll see you on the next go around, my friend. Message me if you need anything. Paul Sotero says somebody must have thought they were doing you a solid by signing you up for all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, really appreciate it. But the email's cleared out now, and we've got a lot of things. Actually took the time to unsubscribe from all these things that I was getting, so that'll help keep it from getting that way in the future till people sign me back up.
Delilah said that she sent you a request for a sticker back in May of 2021.
I believe it.
And
I believe it.
Get to her sticker request.
I did see that, Delilah. There were some names that stood out. Part of the problem was initially I stopped because my post office box lapsed. So I had put it on my debit card for auto renew, had a fraud issue. So that card got changed, but that card is attached to so many different things, like my YouTube memberships and my auto renewal on there. And I just didn't even think about the post office. I went in I think it was the day after, within a couple of days of realizing that my PO box had lapsed and somebody had already rented that number back out. So part of it was not having the PO box to put on the return address, because for a while there we had some picky employees at my local post office, and without a return address they wouldn't mail it out for security reasons, because they needed to be able to track, who sent it. Not like you couldn't put a fake address, but we've got all that worked out, and we're working on getting caught up. There are about 50 requests. I won't go through and name everybody, but I saw a lot of familiar names, and some of you are probably going to get extra stickers, because I never deleted the ones from people I had already mailed out stickers to. So some of you all will be getting some extra stickers that have already gotten them previously. So I hope you don't mind. You roll on down through here. Ben Backstrom, you are more than welcome. Thank you for being here, my friend.
I appreciate that. Something that Delilah did on Instagram. She likes to put 10 pictures at a time, and it's always something really cute for the first 6, and then the last ones are spiders or some type of horrible bug. And this time she did 10 photos of just turtles.
Very cool.
I was terrified to go to the next one, and I don't know what he just did. He walked up and then walked away. Yeah, it was all turtles.
I see Rustic Nashville making a very good guess in the chat, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh no, cat hair.
I hope I don't mispronounce this. Dale Klodnicki says, Fisherman Fever, thanks again for your coverage at Aqua Shella. Us northern folks truly appreciate everything you do and share. Keep it up. Well, I appreciate you checking it out. If you weren't aware of it, because we did get a lot of new people that came in that had not seen the channel before, weren't familiar with the streams. So if you're not familiar with my buddy Chattanooga Ed over there, that side, he also streams those events. He usually does a pre-show walkthrough before the doors open. So that's another thing to check out to get you even more coverage of those shows that you can't make it to. And so hopefully maybe you can make it to a Chicago one, or hey, maybe even Aquaticon in Knoxville, since it's not quite so far south. But Dale, thank you for being here. Really do appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed the coverage.
Yeah, about the only time I get a chance to look at the show is beforehand, because I kind of work the whole show.
Yeah, I feel bad for Ed, but my God, he does an amazing job of it. And yeah, that's the thing, is you have fun. You always come away happy. But I still feel kind of bad that you're not out there part of it, so to speak, but you're 100% part of it in the other aspect of working. So let's see here. Paul Sotero, been a member for 14 months on Team Snowball. Thank you so much, Paul. Says 14 months of geeking out with the rest of the fish nerds. Absolutely. Time really flies. And I appreciate you, Paul, not just for the support, but also everything you do in terms of the support and chat. The knowledge. Every week you've got something, it seems like, to add to the conversation that's valuable and is a quality contribution. So I appreciate that. All you other mods also doing the amazing work out there. Thank you so much. Zen Ginger, Liquid Zoo OnlyFins, and all of you dropping links, keeping everybody up to speed on what's going on. That is very much appreciated. All right, did I get to the bottom, or did it just jump on me? I think I am at the bottom, so if you have something, somehow maybe I missed it, feel free to throw that in the chat. I will keep my eyes out for that. How's it going, Melvin? Good to see you. this Aquashella, we're going to bounce back to Aquashella now, where we're waiting for questions and comments to roll in, and then we'll bounce back to those. In about 20 minutes, we'll head on over to the Chattanooga Ed channel. But this Aquashella, especially compared to last year, because I know things were kind of just gearing back up after the whole world health crisis, shut everything down the year before. But this year to last year, Orlando now versus then, was such a huge difference. I mean, it was an amazing show of how dedicated they are to, and there goes the light again. We're just going to work with it for now. This is why I hate taking down the streaming studio and then setting it back up, because there's always something that doesn't want to work right. But yeah, the amount of dedication they showed, the way that they kind of elevated the show to a whole new level, it was really awesome. I had a really fun time. People always ask me what was the best thing about the show, and I always give the same, well, some might say cheesy answer, and that is the people. It's the viewers, it's the other fish tubers, it's getting to hang out with people. It's gotten to where we're familiar with a lot of people that we only get to see at that event. So, hanging out with Brett Raymer, John from KG Tropicals, Jason from Primetime, and of course, Lisa and Joanna too. But like, those are some of the main people. And like John's mentioned, Ed and John and myself, we'll go sit on a bench and talk until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, pretty much the whole time, every time we get together. So that's one of the big things I look forward to. The really heartwarming and touching thing is getting to meet the viewers, getting to meet you all. And though it comes across in the chat how much you all love us, and God help you, I don't understand why. We're just a couple of goofy guys with cameras, right? But seeing you all in person and having that moment, that experience of getting to meet you all, it really gets pervade how much you all enjoy what we do. And I can't tell you how much that really means to me, and I know Ed as well. Do you have anything, now that I've rambled on for a couple minutes, that you'd like to throw out there, buddy?
Someone, gosh, I think it was Crip, asked if we'll be at the Dallas or the Chicago one. I'm part of the team, so I'll be going to all the Aquashellas regardless where they're at. So hopefully they'll keep expanding and they'll go to the West Coast or the East Coast.
And I hide in Ed's luggage, so I'll be there too.
Yep. We're going to drag James along with me because he's my partner.
Absolutely. A couple events I do want to mention, and that's another thing Ed and I talked about. We started, and I say we, but Ed gets full credit for it because he's the guy that takes the time to go through and find them and write them down. But we, as a brand, whatever, channel, Fish Room Fever, started covering events years ago. We used to bring them to you every week, let you know what was going on all around the country. When health issues came up for the world, we had to stop that because there were no events after that big fish deal that year. But we are bringing that back. So starting next week, you'll be able to see that. And we'll talk about all sorts of different events all across the country to keep you all in tune with what's going on and maybe find out about something in your area that you didn't know was happening. But two things I want to talk about that are upcoming. We actually have a club now in Knoxville, Tennessee. It is the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. They are having a meeting this Saturday, March 15th, 4 p.m. And what is so very, very cool about this particular meeting is that it is, I believe, the first time that Sean Peck from Peck Tech will be giving a live presentation. He's going to be doing a talk at the club meeting. So I'm really looking forward to going out and supporting my buddy Peck Tech, seeing his talk. I know that's got to be fun. And I'm super excited for him. And I guess I should click that I'm going on the Facebook page while I'm looking at it. But that's going to be a fun thing coming up in the immediate future. Those of you that tuned into the channel before we got started, you all saw that little promotional video. Of course, many of you know about Aquaticon here in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's going to be Saturday, April 30th. And I'm really, really excited about that one. That's something we've been planning for a while now. We've got some major names on board. We've, of course, got Reef Nutrition and Fritz. Like those of you that were here right at the start of the stream know, we've got another major company. Pretty much all of us, I would dare say, have at least one of their products in our house. I know I use their products all the time. We'll be rolling that out Monday in terms of who that is. May do it a little sooner, but right now we're scheduled to release that information on Monday. So it keeps growing. We got quite a few people that we're working on getting to the show. That it's just a matter of scheduling. I talked to John and Lisa again, and John's like, dude, yeah, I'd love to go. I just don't know schedule wise if I'm going to be able to with the move. Now I can actually say that because he's announced the move. So hopefully things work out well with that. And just lots of people that are going to be there. It's going to be a fun time.
For sure. Well,
go ahead, buddy.
I know if Rico was here, he would want us to push the Keystone Clash.
Absolutely.
That's one that we're going to try our hardest to get to. I can't guarantee it. Aquashella makes it easy because I'm part of the team. But, that's in Pennsylvania, and it's a far drive. And James is part of the team in Knoxville, so that makes that one easy, and it's so darn close. So, but yeah, we're going to definitely try to get to the Keystone Clash also.
Absolutely. Select Pet says there's a swap in Knoxville on April 2nd also. So I'll probably try and get to that. I am still downsizing tanks, which we've only had about 10 minutes left, so I won't talk too much about that. But like even Corey mentioned on his members only stream earlier, sometimes you just get to that point where downsizing is where you're at. And typically what that does, especially for a lot of us who have been in the hobby for a while, is we downsize. It gets a little bit of the stress off of us, and then we get really involved again, and it's like, oh, well, I want to do this project, and then it just builds right back up. So that kind of ties into a question I saw up here. Let me see if I can find it again. Oh, goodness. I have lost the question, but I do remember the question. The question was if there was anything that I saw in Orlando that I just had to have. I'm sorry, I can't find it to give credit to who asked that. But for me, it was that really big, really expensive piece of driftwood.
It was. This is the only thing I paid for.
Right?
Yeah, I bought two of them, and unfortunately, the one that I got, I'm not going to get. But oh well.
I'm sorry. I could try and wrestle one away from Mrs. Fever, or
no. They might have it at the next show.
I say that, but she'd hurt me if I tried. But yeah, those of you that watched the streams from Aquashella got to see that piece, and I will be featuring that in that scape video. I may be doing that video with Tech, that scaping video. We've talked about it a couple times. Between Ed, Sean, and myself, we've got quite a few collaboration projects that we've talked about and we've lined up. So,
I've been talking to Sean, and I haven't necessarily talked to you, James, but you are kind of aware of it. I think we're going to enter the big scape off in Dallas. The fluval, it's a 40 breeder, I think, that people are doing. And the thing is you kind of have to apply to get one of the spots. So Sean's going to be our captain, and we'll let him submit stuff that he's done in the past.
I love it.
And then he'll be our captain, and we'll just be his crew. But it's a really neat event because you're only allowed to work on it for 3 hours a day.
Yep. Yeah, and that was Paul Sotero that asked that question. So for me, the one thing I had to have in Orlando to add to the fish room was that massive piece of driftwood. I saw it the first day, went back up there the second day, and it was not sitting out in front on display in the front of that booth. And then I just kind of saw it out of the corner of my eye in somebody's hand walking out of the booth, and I was like, oh no. But it was actually the gentleman that runs that booth and owns that company. So I bought it right there on the spot, talked to him. He took care of me. He's a great guy. Same person I bought the spiderwood from. It's the massive booth. God help me, I can't think of their online name. I'll have to go find it again. And I'll put a link in the description for them because they're really awesome people, and we're looking forward to possibly having them at Aquaticon. So we'll see about that. But that was my one thing I had to have. What about you, Ed?
Well, I got another gift that I left it on the refrigerator. I got a crab magnet from Scuba Stevo.
Dude, yeah, absolutely.
Do you have yours?
Or I don't have my. He did give me one. He gave me a fish magnet. And Stevo, I'm sorry I don't have that to show right now. I actually packed that with all of my other electronics gear because I had that not briefcase, but that like Pelican case that hard shell case down there with my other electronics gear. So it's actually still packed in there nice and safe and secure. But yeah, Scuba Steve-O, really awesome dude. He was like all weekend, hey, is there anything I can help you with? You know, anything I can do for you, just let me know. He's a great guy. And he bought me that magnet. Very cool, very pretty. I'll have to show that off when I do my little video thing of what all I got down there. But it is still wrapped safe and secure in that styrofoam in that hard shell case.
So this is what he got me, this little magnet guy. And, you know, I'm terrible. I meant to have him with me when I was doing this, because if somebody gives you a gift, you want to show it off. But when I showed my mother this, she thought it was for her. She got so excited. So if these are at the next show, Steve-O, can you help me get one more for my mom?
Right. Definitely.
But, yeah.
That's too funny. Hello, Crystals, Pets, and Plants. Always good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out. Hippie John the Fisherman says, James and Ed, you two better say hi to me in Chicago. We definitely will. So Ed will be at the booth, I'm sure, running the Aquashella streams. So you got to catch him at the right time to actually speak to him. It's usually the bottom 15 minutes of the hour is typically the best time to come look for him.
Yeah. You can always, if you want, it sounds silly. If you want me to autograph something, that sounds terrible. But some people do. I can always find time to autograph quick. But I try to pay attention to what's going on just in case. A lot of times, a lot of the YouTubers that are talking aren't used to doing live streams.
Yeah.
So they have a really hard time just talking. So they need somebody that can fill in the space, and that's what I do.
Absolutely. As for me, I'm pretty much always available. It doesn't matter if you see me with, you know, the gimbal and filming and stuff, come say hi to me. Come hang out with me. I get about a dozen people per show that actually, you know, come and talk to me and say hi and all that. And someone autographs, and like Ed said, that's still kind of weird. We feel kind of like, I feel like I'm showing off saying somebody wants my autograph, but people do it. I think that's awesome, and it's really, really appreciated. So I made the joke because I got stuck holding the door for a while, letting people out of the event as I was coming back in. I was like, man, my line was out the door. Granted, I was holding the door and they were leaving, but still, my line was out the door. I'm pretty much always available, and I'm always open to talk and hang out. And if you want us to sign something, we will. If you just want to hang out, you want a picture, whatever, we're up for it. Don't ever hesitate, because that's what we're there to do, is talk to y'all. Y'all, there's that good old Tennessee coming out. Let's see, rolling down through here. Chat jumped on me. Let me get back up here. Cryptkeeper Aquatic says, anything near New York happening this year? So we will have more on that. It probably has something, but we will have like a full list of events. We'll get back to like we used to do, where we had a segment that was events. So we'll have more details on more shows for you starting next week. But I do want to let you all know that we will be going back to doing that like we used to do years ago.
Yeah, the two events that I can think of up right off the top of my head is Reefapalooza always does a New York City. Well, I should say always. Generally always does New York City. So Reefapalooza, but it's pretty much all saltwater show. And then the Keystone Clash will be in Pennsylvania, which is pretty close to New York. So those are the two right off the top of my head without pulling out the old book. I've got to pull out the book and fill it all out. And I've just been really swamped lately. I've had so many things I'm doing. I just forgot to do that. And I told James I would, and I apologize.
Hey, no problem. No problem. Scuba Steve-O had mentioned he always gets all the cool people to sign his poster. He does. I'm starting to think he's selling my autographs on eBay or something. I'm just kidding, Steve-O. But yeah, I have fun doing that. It's a very neat experience for, you know, little old me. So I do really appreciate it. Paul Steer says, James, I missed the announcement where Lisa and John moving to. I don't know how specific they got, so I'll just say the Carolinas. I don't know if they even said which Carolina they're moving to. They probably did. But they are still going to be pretty much the exact same distance away from me that they are now. Because we looked at that, and I talked to John about helping out and things like that. And so they're moving closer, yet not closer. Go figure, right? But they'll be about 30 minutes away from Mr. Beast, as John keeps saying. So anybody that knows where Mr. Beast lives, I was joking with John. I was like, I know you're going to be out there with your drone flying around trying to find Mr. Beast. See if you can get a hold of him. But they are moving to the Carolinas, so they will be Tennessee Fish Mafia adjacent.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go north before I can go east. But if they ever put a highway in that goes east from Chattanooga, I'm going to probably save 3 hours from his old house.
And then we're in business. Danica Aquatics, what's going on? Kenny E, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Says, I understand that, James. Danny and I are going to downsize tanks, but go up in total gallons. LOL, no more small tanks. Yeah, and I did that, a decade plus, I guess about 15 years ago. There goes the light. Anyway, about 15 years ago, that's all I did was monster fish and massive tanks, and there goes the other light. So we're starting to wind down the lights. It's 4 minutes till. We're going to give you that nice, mellow, smooth closing time vibe. But no, I'm glad to hear that, Kenny. I know that makes it easier in one aspect, but also presents its own different set of challenges sometimes. So that's awesome, brother. Thank you again so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate all the support from you and the wonderful missus. Hopefully I get to see you again soon, my friend. It's been forever now, it feels like, since that Florida trip. So hopefully we get to hang out in the not too distant future.
I would love to be able to drive to him.
Oh, yeah.
You know how much fun it would be? We could go by to see Dan's, get Gil's Super Center build, and then go across and then see Kenny E, and then go up and see Bob and Corey. That'd be pretty cool.
Definitely would be a fun time. TJ Autocross, there's one of the lights coming back. Says, have been experiencing a recent die-off of my Neocaridina shrimp. No obvious disease. Have had them since the fall. Did a water change when I found the first one dead. Thoughts? So if you did a water change and then found the first one dead after that, there could, of course, been something going on with the water source. I don't know. I can't remember if you're on municipal water, if you're on well water. But I have had instances, and so have a lot of people, if you've been in the hobby long enough, you do a water change at just the wrong time when the water company's messing around with stuff, and then you end up having some issues. If that was meaning that you found the first one while doing the water change, I will say that I personally have noticed sometimes I'll get a small die off from time to time. And with the Neocaridinas, especially if I've let them kind of breed out to a maximum capacity, which takes a lot because you can fit a lot in a couple gallons. So sometimes it does happen. Another thing to consider is they don't have a super long lifespan. I mean, it's not like, you get them and they die a couple months later. But depending upon size, I mean, there are a lot of variables that are playing in here. But it could simply be maybe you got a batch and they were all from the actual like same batch. So they were all the same age, I guess is what I'm getting at. So you started with 12 that were all bred the same time. And now you've had a bunch and they've bred out and all this, that, and the other. Maybe it's just kind of getting to the end of their span. Without more specifics, those are just a couple of guesses, which is the best we can do with that. You said there's no obvious diseases, so that's a plus. So I'm not going to look into any of those possibilities, but those are a couple things just on my mind when you mention what's going on with the details that have been given. What about you, Ed?
Well, sometimes with water changes, it depends on how hard you're letting it hit the substrate, but you can stir up stuff in your substrate that can release stuff and kill your fish too. So, I mean, especially if you have a dirted tank with sand over it. It's like is it propane? What's not propane? What's methane? What's the air that grows underneath, or the gas?
You're talking about like anaerobic systems and stuff?
In a normal dirted tank, sometimes the gas that comes up.
God, I get what you're saying now. There goes the light again.
I've heard that sometimes people will stir that up and cause different things, maybe even ammonia to pop up. I don't know what's happening, but if you're messing with your substrate too much, sometimes that'll happen. Like if it's just like the water falling in, not vacuuming it out. Because if you're vacuuming it out, it's the bad stuff's going to go with the water going out.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That was the worst description ever in the history of anything.
I get what you're saying, and I'm not gonna say that that's not possible. I will say I've messed around with a lot of tanks, and to simplify, it caused a lot of bubbles to come up from substrate over the years, and never had a problem. That's not to say that it couldn't have happened to someone somewhere. Yeah, there are all sorts of crazy theories when we don't know like all the information, if you will. I was working with one person one time trying to figure out their problem, and it was that their cat had kicked their CO2 regulator on full blast, and that's why they were having problems. So there was no way I could have possibly diagnosed that, no matter how much information I got from them. And we worked at it for a while, and finally they're like, hey, I realized my CO2 got kicked on full blast by my cat, and that was the issue. I'm like, okay, sorry I couldn't help, but we tried. We really did. I'm going to grab a couple things real quick, and then we're going to head on over to Chattanooga Edge channel.
Do you want to catch Delilah's quick?
I am still, well, now it's jumped on me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have other questions?
Oh, yeah, we've got a couple things lined up still. That was TJ's right there. So, TJ, I hope we can help give a couple of thoughts on that. Scuba Steve says, y'all know I got to get all the cool people to sign my posters. Yep, absolutely. Thank you again, Steve, for that. Westworld says, I always feel intimidated trying to talk to you and Ed, James, and then a winky face. This tongue out. Yeah. Whip is a big guy for anybody who doesn't know. He's a tall guy. So I'm sure he feels really intimidated talking to me. Yeah, a little guy.
Might be afraid he'll step on us.
Yeah, possibly.
Or it could be like the elephant mouse situation.
Definitely. Rustic Nashville is asking about the Fish Room Fever logo banners, like what Rico Stan has. So I never meant that to be like a thing, if you will, like a piece of merchandise that was intended to, like, I sent one to Rico, and then I've got one for myself to do like Aquaticon, since I'm a big part of that, however you want to put it. I'm kind of a big deal, except I'm not. But I am working on getting a bunch of those ordered, and basically what I'm going to end up doing, the best way to get them to you all, aside from like Rustic, I can get in touch with you. But I'm probably going to order like a dozen of them, and I can sign them if people want them signed. But I'll just put them on my website, and that way people can buy them. And I'll just, buy those, put them on there, because we did have some requests, and there's not a good way for me to set those up on a site where you could order them and have them shipped straight to you. So I'll just put them on the website once we get that done. I'll let y'all know that it's available.
I want one too.
Well, there you go. And I appreciate that. And we'll make sure they're reasonably priced. I'm not here to make a fortune off of that type of stuff. Let me see here. I know we had a new member, and I am getting to you, and I do very much appreciate you. Let me get through these last couple things. Paul says that John Ellis would be closer to him. Select Pet says a sign in blue neon would be super cool. It would be. We're not quite that big yet. We're trying to make some moves to move up in the world. One of these days we'll get a neon sign. I'm really digging that idea. Whip's World, this guy again. Again, thanks for the t-shirt, man. I do appreciate it. I like to make the joke that I never have to buy t-shirts again, because I'm always getting new awesome t-shirts. But did a $5 super chat. Says, thanks for doing what you do, gentlemen. Whip, thank you so much, my friend. Everything that you do, all the support.
James got one of these also.
Whip, yeah, I did get one of those. Whip has actually, we've talked, and he's going to be joining the Fish Room Fever family of channels, which I think is really awesome once he starts getting some content coming out again. So as soon as Whip does that, he'll be on board, because he's, right in line with what we do and the feel of the brand and trying to help people and being an awesome guy. So thank you so much, Whip. Do appreciate you, brother. There we go. I found you, Jeff. Jeff H became a member. Thank you so much, Jeff. Welcome to the Fish Room Fever family. Thank you for showing the love. There's a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff and things that don't get released to the general public that you can go check out in the member section if you're ever wanting to poke around back there.
We forgot to make a members only video.
So we did try and do a couple live streams. The problem is now some people may be able to do this, the bigger channels. I don't know. But I know right now I don't have access to do a mobile members only chat. Even if I set up a stream on my laptop, and try and access it from my phone, if it's a members only, it will not let me. Whereas like I could set a stream up on my laptop, click on it on my phone, and it'll let me do it. So we tried to incorporate a couple of those, and it didn't work. The last one we did, we just went ahead and did it publicly, but turned the chat to members only, and we upset some people. So I felt kind of bad because people coming like, "Oh, he's doing trying to make some money because only the members can talk." I'm like, "Well, they were supposed to get a stream, and this is the only way I can get it to them." So that wasn't it, but that's the long and short of it. I am hoping to be able to get together with some people like Fantastic, of course, Rico Stan, and I was going to sing it to him on his channel, but he's not going on tonight. He's typically after Chattanooga Ed. For anybody that doesn't know, happy birthday, Rico. I was going to come on your channel and sing to you. I'll have to maybe do that another time, but happy birthday to you, my friend. Very much appreciate you. But I'd love to kind of get the panel together and do some members only stuff with all the guys that you all can enjoy. Again, Jeff H., thank you so much for the love and support. Welcome to the family, buddy. All right. On that note, I've run 7 minutes over, but I know Ed's a smart guy and he's probably got his stream scheduled for a couple more minutes from now. So I don't feel quite so bad. Hippie John the Fisherman says you're going to need more than 12. Well, I will order 12. The company that I ordered them from, the banner company, the sign company, they got them to Rico Stan within a couple of days of me ordering. So I'll order 12 and we'll see how that goes. And then I'll order more because I know we have some awesome people in here, but I also know that all that will have to come out of pocket and then we'll have to sell them to get the money back from that. And with so much going on in the fish rooms, including something I talked a little bit about, which is, well, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to step on John and Lisa, but we've got big plans for the family and the brand, and there might be a different piece of land in the future with some awesome things going on. We'll talk about that another night. But yeah, we'll get a dozen. We'll get a baker's dozen. We'll see how those do, and I can always order more and put them up on there for you guys. And I appreciate you all. That means a lot, the level of support that you guys show. 100 people still hanging out after an hour and some odd change of me rambling. 87 likes. You guys are awesome. We're going to go over to the Chattanooga Ed YouTube channel. Link will be in the chat for those of you watching live or those of you following along on the replay. Until next time, as always, Ed, thank you for being here, buddy. Really do appreciate you. It's always fun talking to you. All the moderators, the members, the lurkers, listeners, super chatters, contributors, questioners, commentators, and of course, the replay crew. I love you guys. Until next time, keep your fish healthy. Keep yourselves healthy. Don't be afraid to catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care, everybody. We love you.